Hello, my name is Dr. Michelle Stanley, the flute professor at Colorado State University, and I'm here today to help you prepare for your 2017 All-State Audition. The etudes that are selected for this year's audition are from the Fisher edition of the Anderson Etudes Opus 33, number 20, and the Kalmus edition of the Kohler Romantic Etudes Opus 66, number 23. When I start to work on these etudes, I like to play through them with an idea of what an adjudicator might be listening for in each excerpt. Then I try to figure out what specific musical elements I should be focusing on as I prepare. If you have areas in your playing that you know need work, make sure that it is front and center in your practicing so that you work on those areas each time you play through the excerpt. In etude number 23 by Köhler, we have a very fun and musical etude to perform. This is titled Spanish Caprice, which helps us to understand how to approach this etude with character and style. A caprice is a lively and somewhat free piece of music. Play this excerpt with the phrasing always in mind and with a fun, relaxed nature. While I'm not suggesting you alter the rhythms of this excerpt as you play, I do suggest you play without a strict and vertical metronomic feel. For example, at the beginning, play towards the C and the downbeat of measure 3, and come back and sound a bit towards the upper C. In addition, play to the G downbeat of measure 5, followed by a breath, to keep the direction of the line. This stylized effect gives the music lilt and phrasing and keeps the focus off the upper notes. It will also create a flow to the music instead of a strict tempo that can become too metronomic. Breathing in strategic spots will help you create the flow of the phrase that you want. You may breathe after the many tied notes that are in the excerpt, but you'll want to make sure that you breathe with the phrase rather than at every single tied note. For example, your first breath could be after the C, since the piece is in C minor, in measure 3, or the low G in measure 5, and then the next breath would be after the high E flat in measure 7. In the con gracias section, after the double bar and the key change, be playful with the 8th and 2/16 notes in this different section. The trills in measure 23 and 31 should be one-note trills and played lightly and piano, since this section is marked delicately. Since there are not many dynamics marked in this excerpt, play with a warm mezzo forte sound throughout, and don't be afraid to play into the line as it rises and falls. There are dynamics marked in the B section, so do be mindful to play soft in the delicate section that's marked. There are a few tempo changes as well that you want to practice. Notice the tempo change in measure 9. Allargando is a slower tempo than the allegro moderato that's marked at the beginning. Interpret this marking as a small ritardando into the A section that begins on G natural on the and of beat 3. At the end of this excerpt, there's also a rallentando marked in measure 32, but the excerpt ends in the next bar on the downbeat of 33. The rallentando is only marked on the tied A flat, so just make that note full rather than playing a long, drawn-out rallentando into the a tempo. Have fun with this excerpt as it's meant to showcase your style as a musician and your ability to interpret music in your own unique way. And finally, as with all audition preparations, I hope you find great success with early practicing, a focused goal for each practice session, people to listen to you play your excerpts, and recording yourself while you prepare. Best of luck.